Hello everybody, this is Miguel Olivas and I'm here with Renee Olivas. As you know, the teachers are protesting the last 2 days, so kids are out of school, and I've talked about my support for education, but more importantly a teacher pay raise, the 20% they're asking for, and some of the other list of issues that they've brought up. So I'm here with my mother, Lupe Olivas, who is having breakfast with us today in Tucson, Arizona, where she lives, and we're going to get her take as a retired teacher on teachers' pay and most of the issues. So here's Lupe Olivas live. This is the woman who educated me, raised me, and of course took care of, helps my son and the rest of my children out in school. Say hello, Mom.
Hi.
So it's my mom, Lupe Olivas, and so what's your take, Mom, on what the teachers are doing? What do you think about
I'm in full
protests?
support for them.
Yeah, why? Tell me what it's like being a teacher and the pay and having a...
Well, let me start first. Teachers have to pay the same amount of tuition as any other profession, number one. Number two, not only are you a teacher, you are a babysitter, a disciplinarian, and everything else that comes along, psychologist, you name it.
Hi.
You name it, you got it. And but most of all, we love children. We love children. We want to see them. You're gonna have to delete that.
No, you just talk.
You're going to have to see their progress. It's just to see their little eyes learning. It's just so wonderful. I have a colleague that we still, even though we're retired, we remember those old days of teaching. But yes, I have heard that, oh, they make so much money. They make so much money maybe if you have a PH. But as a starting teacher, you don't make that kind of money. You don't make $58,000. You start down at the bottom of the ladder as everybody else. But teaching is a reward. It keeps you alive. It makes you happy. And you're able to help your own children succeed in life.
All right. So other than, okay, like the 20%, talk about some of the things you had to do with your pay whenever you're a teacher. Like, what'd you have to, like, your paycheck kind of, how'd you take care of your classroom, basically, when you were in there?
Well, you always bought, for example, rewards for them. You also have to pay for your Xerox paper, your markers, your pencils, some paper, just writing paper. You were so limited in Xeroxing, you were limited in the amount of line paper that the students had to use. So where did it come out of? Our pay. We had to supply it. What could we do in the classroom without it? Nothing. Books, you had to share. Why do you have to share when this United States is so rich, yet we share? Maybe now they're going to the computers, but remember, not everybody has a computer at home. It's not feasible. So you have to provide for your school. If you want your children to benefit from a good education, why isn't the government that is always complaining how poorly we do, not providing for books and good desks, good schools? Here in the Southwest, we cannot study in these classrooms that are hot. Yep. Why are they closing schools? Why are you putting 40, 50 kids in the classroom when the schools are open and they're right there, sitting still, no students, yet you have to cross roads that are dangerous. Take example for Wilmot. Children I've seen crossing Wilmot, going to Wheeler. Dangerous. They can get killed. Look at I see my 9-year-old grandson just running and running without looking. Children are children, and we need to take care of them both at school and at home.
Okay, thanks, Mom. Anything else you got to add? A little taste of, like, perhaps, I know you support teachers, obviously. Do you think that 20% increase is enough, or do you think that should just be a start? Or?
It will be a start, but teachers are not the only ones that are taking care of our children. The classrooms have to be on top of that. Do you want the teachers to be janitors too? After a full day's work, how many of you have to clean up your offices? How many of you in government clean up your offices at night? No, you have your janitors, you have your gophers, you have go for my coffee. Teachers don't have that. Teachers do not have enough aides. They can't even go to the restrooms. They develop illnesses that are preventable if we are given a break.
Awesome. So what kind of, when the teachers leave home, do they leave home and forget about their job, or what happens when teachers get home?
No. I would spend weekends doing my lesson plans lovingly. I would think of each child. Each child is individual. And I would go home and I would think, well, how am I going to teach today? How am I going to teach a certain child? How am I going to make sure that they have the materials that they need to be able to learn? So, and then on top of that, all the grading, all the parent reminders, your child's not doing this homework. It doesn't end when school ends. You speak with parents after school. You speak with parents in the phone. It's a continuing job.
So you owned your own business when you were a little younger, then you were a stay-at-home mom for a while, and why did you decide to become a school teacher in the end?
So my children could have a good education.
Let the young man start.
Awesome, thank you.
So that my children could have a good education, and I love children. And it seems that throughout the years, no matter what I started out to go into the health field. But it just directed me to go to education. My family are all educators. For some reason, they're all educators in one way or another, no matter what they are, what chosen profession they use. They're educators. We love teaching our children about life, both the good and bad, and how to make wise decisions. And that's one of my goals, is to teach my young girls. I taught mostly fourth graders, and they had many examples of life as an adult. They asked me, Miss Olivas, once my husband passed away, how are you going to manage? And I said to them, oh girls, I don't have to worry, because when my husband passed away, I have a good job. I received an education, and you will too if you're wise enough, so that when you retire, you'll be able to take care of yourself. You don't have to depend on any abusive person to take care of you. So education is very important to both women and men.
Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you. Love you.
Hey everybody, this is Miguel Olivas and this is Renee. We're having a good day. Renee is in the Gates program. He's in the gifted program at school, and I have to attribute all that to my mom. My mom's the reason I went on to work on my doctorate and completed my doctoral program in industrial organizational psychology. I have a master's in business, and I have a few undergraduate degrees. While my dad pushed it, and my dad worked really hard for it, my dad liked to work with his hands, but to both of them, education was the most important thing. You know, straight from my mother's mouth, you can see where my strength and most of my loyalty comes from, but more importantly, my logic and my understanding of what teachers are going through. When I say I'm committed and I'm in support of it, of Red for Ed, I'm 100% honest. So, Renee, say hello to everybody with your scraggly hair. Say hello. Smile, be goofy, be you. Anyway, everybody, I hope you have a wonderful day. And he's getting a little silly, but like I said, we need educators to not only educate, but we need them. They're the backbone of our community, and I mean that entirely. And as my mother said, you can tell most of the things they're going through. Love you all. I hope you have a wonderful Friday afternoon. Peace.